finer and things can go against you one way or the other. And this one, it didn't work out for Aston Villa. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it was. That challenge, I suppose, it's softer as years go on. Back in, I suppose, say my day, and even before that, never a foul. But this day and age, I'd have to see it again. But certainly the crowd in this stadium weren't happy with the referee's performance at all. But they were a little bit more solid today. It was definitely improvements, but just a lack of a cutting edge in the end.
Yeah, and that really was. Well, let's speak to a man who's had such a cutting edge for this side. It wasn't meant to be for him, and it wasn't meant to be for Aston Villa tonight either. Let's get the immediate reaction of Ollie Watkins, who is with Rachel Stringer.
Ollie, I've got to ask you just about Morgan Rogers there. It looked like you had the goal at the sudden death. You were sitting watching it like the rest of the fans and myself. What did you think?
I think it's soft, maybe in the Premier League that's a goal, but I feel like in Europe, in the competition, the goalkeepers are protected a lot, obviously, with the referees. So, it's one of them. I thought we had scored, but to be fair, I think it had a 0-0 game written all over. So I think we would have been lucky if we took that there.
Referees were quite harsh with some of the decisions as well, especially in terms of Villa. What were your thoughts on those yellow cards, especially in the first half as well?
Yeah, obviously I've got to be careful what I say about the referees, but like I said, the refereeing's a little bit different during this competition. They don't let things go as much, so we're used to that now, and it's one of those things. Sometimes the decisions go with you and sometimes against you, but it's out of our control, really.
Another clean sheet at home, though. You managed to keep another European giant at bay tonight in the form of Juventus. How proud are you and the team, do you think, of this result?
Yeah, I think it's positive. Obviously, for the fans coming Champions League night at Villa Park, they probably want to see a lot of goals, and we do ourselves. But the most important thing is we didn't lose here tonight. We got a point. We're not in a great moment, so it's something to build on. And obviously, Juventus are, a massive team, and they played well. But we kept it out, and now on to the weekend.
Still undefeated at home here at Villa Park on Champions League nights. Congratulations, Ollie.
Thank you. Cheers.
On what was a busy night in the Champions League, look at what this result has done to the league table. Aston Villa are in 9th spot. They're one of 7 teams locked on 10 points after 5 match days. And all these sides are actually either side of that magic 8th spot, which would mean automatic qualification. Liverpool are at the top of the pile after their victory over Real Madrid. Manchester City have dropped to 17th. Real Madrid are in 24th. PSG are in 25th. They're outside the qualification spots at the moment, even the playoffs. Arsenal, though, well and truly in the mix as well. Okay. What a game it was here at Villa Park. It was a game that really took its time to get going. Certainly in that first half, we were sort of waiting for something big to happen. Those spaces did open up for Aston Villa. They did almost try to make the most of it, playing with, kind of not as much possession as they would have liked.
Yeah, I think we always knew that Juventus were going to have the bulk of possession. And I thought Aston Villa were good defensively because they have been conceding goals of late. They didn't do that. It's another clean sheet, but they created opportunities as the game went on. It was a little bit of a slow burn into the second half, and then I think it was 36 minutes before we got the first shot on target. But they'll be happy with a point. Of course, they'll be disappointed. A lot of the fans will be disappointed going home tonight after they do get the set-piece goal and it's ruled out. But if you look at where they are at this moment in time within the league, they'll be happy with that.
This is it, because before the game kicked off, you'd say that they'd be happy with a point against a strong Juventus side, the best defence in Serie A as well. But it's the manner of the draw. I was about to say the defeat. It feels like a defeat, doesn't it? It was the way that it was just snatched from them in the final moments. That's the bit that will burn.
Yeah, I think Carlos has absolutely every right to go for this. I actually think it's a goalkeeper error. He's not caught it well, and Carlos, I think he has every right. Yeah, leads with his shoulder slightly. But he's got every right to go for the ball. It's a goalkeeper mistake. Yeah, it's harsh.
Gregorio knows what he's doing there.
Yeah.
He goes up here, as you see, arm stretched out for the ball. You know there's going to be a challenge. There's going to be, and he plays it well. He goes down, he's rolling about. I think it's just a normal challenge within the box. You do this all the time.
Honestly, I think he'd have chalked off a good few of my goals if that was the case.
I think Mott is even surprised there.
Look at that. He's just like, thank you so much.
Yeah, but listen, it was the last moment of the game. It's a huge moment, and I think it's so soft. Let's be honest.
This is the thing. It's small margins, isn't it? I've got to say, Morgan's finish though was really well taken, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tap in at that point. But I think in the general...
It's the control, though.
In general play for Villa, I think they could have been a bit quicker on the counter-attack. We'll see it again there. Like, you know...
I think listen, Carlos is trying to put him off. And I think, you know, it's a little bit of contact. But, you know, if that's not the goalkeeper, I don't think you give it. I think there's too much protection for the goalkeeper. They know it's a massive moment. And
you have to be able to go up and challenge at some point. I mean, what's it getting to where you have to jump up and, like, jump out the way? Where can he go? He has to challenge. So, it's soft.
Soft. OK, so they will see that as 3 points dropped, but it is a point gained for Aston Villa, of course. Emi Martinez, possibly with... the moment that really saved them.
This was an unbelievable save. Yeah, it's the moment where they switched off at the back post, and it was a free header, and he's just clawed that. And if you look at this now, I think it's millimetres. So an unbelievable save.
But I'm no longer surprised when he pulls off saves like this, Emi Martinez. He is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the best. And you know, he did this against Bayern as well. Absolutely unbelievable saves. Keeps Villa in it. And this is just his level now.
I thought Conceição was excellent over the 90 minutes. I thought it was a real problem for Aston Villa. He just sneaks in there at the back post. But you're right, that's what we've come to expect from Emi Martinez, to be those big moments, huge saves. And as a defence, as a team, you just grow in confidence when you know you've got somebody of that stature behind you that can pull something out the bag, and that's exactly what he done. 5
Champions League games for Aston Villa. Just 1 goal conceded. That was from a penalty. So he's conceded 0 goals from open play. He just raises his standards, doesn't he? Is it probably because he is a World Cup winner, because he knows what it takes to raise your game at the top level?
You know what I used to love? A real character in goal, and I think that's what you've got with him. You know what I also like is his starting position. Quite often when the ball's played through, he's in the correct position. He cleared 2 opportunities away there with his feet. You know, his starting position is good. He's commanding. He's a character, and he pulls off saves like that. So, yeah, there's a reason he's been voted the world's best goalkeeper. He's been the top of his game for a long time now. Yeah,
world's best goalkeeper back-to-back seasons by FIFA. And there was a really lovely moment before the game when he was paraded out here as this champion on the pitch with his 2 little children. That would have meant so much to him. And you just see how much the Villa faithful love him. I mean, look at that, tells you everything. A tifo all on his own. He is an absolute hero here. And you know, when he made the move from Arsenal, he was the number 2 at Arsenal. He made a brave and bold move to say, you know what, I believe in myself. This is with the relationship that he had with Mikel Arteta, who, you know, they were great friends as well. But he turned around and he said to his friend, you know what, I'm going to go elsewhere for my opportunity, and it's paid off.
Yeah, well, I think there comes there's a point in your career where you have to make that decision. Do I stay or do I go? And for me, it's the correct choice. He was at Arsenal for a long period of time. He's come to a big club in Aston Villa, and he's just thrived. And I just think it's his personality as well. He's just grown in stature in each game, and we know what he's won, the trophies that he's got now. And you need a character like that. Crouch is right. Let's see, when you've got somebody like that in the building that you can feed off, who's a leader, you're only going to get good performances out of him. And time after time, huge saves.
Yeah, huge saves, huge character, as is John McGinn, of course. He had a really, really great chance to put Villa ahead in the second half as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He'd be disappointed with this. I think it was, I can't remember, it was on the line, but it was a great clearance. It was a good bit of play down the right side. Locatelli it was, yeah. And, yeah, great chance. I don't think he did a lot wrong, to be honest. It was just a great bit of, he just read the play really well, Locatelli here. So you watch him here, he just drops back on the line, and a fantastic, it was a goal line save.
Right foot though, innit? It's his swinger.
Yeah, a bit of a swinger.
If it was on his left, maybe have an opportunity. But he was unlucky. I thought, again, worked really hard, played well. Locatelli, he reads the situation, gets back onto the goal line, helps out his goalkeeper, which all kind of good defensive players are going to do, so it was unlucky.
Champions League phase is done and dusted. We are well and truly into the league phase. It is really hotting up right now, isn't it? Let's take a check on some of the results from tonight. Big win for Crvena Zvezda against Stuttgart. Aston Villa, of course, finished goalless between them and Juventus. A victory for Lille as well over Bologna, who, of course, Aston Villa beat earlier in the campaign. 1-1 it finished between Celtic and Bruges. Big win for Borussia Dortmund, of course, last season's finalists. Liverpool got the better of Real Madrid. Monaco lost at home to Benfica, a late winner from them. And PSV came back from 2-0 down at home against Shakhtar to beat them by 3-2. So an eventful night across the continent and an eventful...
So aggrieved by how it ended, that Morgan Rogers goal being disallowed. Your thoughts on that?
Good evening. Very happy. Very happy because we got 1 point, but we played really being very, very competitive, and we played very serious, and we respect the opponent, and as well we were dominating some of the match to try to get 3 points. And the last action is clear, is the interpretation of the referee, only the interpretation. We know here in England 80% is not fault, and maybe in Europe is fault.
Very harsh then, you think?
For me, of course, if we are in England, I know usually it's not fault because it was very soft contact, and in Europe could be fault.
I can show you it now, Unai, as well. I can show you it.
I think the referee at the beginning, he didn't whistle fault. At the beginning, he was giving us goal. Okay, but we have to accept.
Yes, you have to accept it. A point you said, didn't you, to me yesterday? You said, I'll be happy with the point.
I am watching, and for me it's not fault, but of course we have to accept and respect the referee's decision.
And you said yesterday you'd be happy with the point. You've got the point. You've got a draw at home. You're still undefeated here at your fortress. Like you said, that is something to take into your next match, isn't it?
We played serious match. We played trying to avoid the last matches, the mistake we made was very important. And then we were playing progressively better. And I think more or less we were closer to them to win the match.
Lots of positives as well. I want to show you the save from your brilliant goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, as well. This is how close it has been the entire match. What did you make of that?
There is not interpretation. There is the line clear and the goal is not goal. It's the clear true difference. Here is not interpretation.
This is why he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
Oh, yes, it's fantastic save.
And just an overall performance as well from Juventus. You expected Thiago Motta's side to come out and be really difficult in midfield, and that's exactly what they did, didn't they?
Yes, we analysed deeply Juventus, and of course they are building the team, they are in the process, but they are very competitive, they are very difficult to beat them. Only they lost one match. And we wanted to play, and we did our plan like more or less in 90 minutes we did. And of course, the match was not clear for both teams in the chances we had, but we were stopping them, we were dominating some of the match, we were getting their box better, we got some corner offensive as well, and we had chances to score. And the second half they had with this save for Emi, I think more or less was very, very tight match for both teams, but I am happy because, of course, we have to analyze overall as well our way in Champions League, and 3 wins, 1 draw and one defeat. I think is very good, and of course, still possibilities to get the top 8, and as well to try to play the next round.
You're sitting in 9th position, 10 points. It looks very promising heading into your final 3 match days. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, he's such a prolific manager, isn't it? Such a great reputation behind him. He's brought so much to this club as well. It was interesting, he said they were closer to winning it than Juventus were. Would you agree with that?
I think so. I think the sort of final 15 minutes, you know, Villa were going on the counter-attack. I think they could have been a bit more quick, a bit more incisive. You know, Juventus was so good at recovering the bodies back. There's so many times Bailey came inside, just go on the outside, you know, be a bit quicker. But listen, the context is Villa are closer to the 8, the magic 8, than Juventus are. You take that. You know, you take that. That last 16 is the goal, and I think Villa being in the Champions League, if they get that and they keep sort of digging out results, they'll be happy with that, and Unai Emery will be happy with that as well.
It was interesting what he said about when he saw Emi Martinez's save. He didn't actually say he's the best goalkeeper in the world, did he? He said, oh, it was a very good save. But he did say that there was no interpretation there. That was a clear no goal, unlike, of course, referring to the Morgan Rogers disallowed goal as well, except not saying it in so many words. In terms of the progress, I mean, he said that in this game they pretty much executed what their plan was in those 90 minutes, and now they're looking ahead and trying to build on what's been a really difficult period, but building from the last 2 draws that they've had and really just getting back to what they have been at the start of the season. How close are they to that, do you think?
Yeah, I think the Palace game especially was really disappointing. I think, the breakaway goals, they felt that they were vulnerable to counter-attacks. At times it was like a basketball match, and I think today it was much more structured. It felt like he was getting back to basics, he was getting more solid. And I think you start the foundations with keeping a clean sheet, and then you can build on it from there. I think, let's be honest, they've gone through a difficult period, and I think to get out of that, I think you've got to start with the foundations at the back and keeping a clean sheet. They've done that tonight, so it's progression and they're moving in the right direction.
And he mentioned no mistakes. I think that's a big thing. That's what you touched on. I mean, the goals against Palace, the goals against Liverpool, it's cutting those out. And if you can do that, they have got the firepower up front and within midfield to go and create opportunities. So this is a building block for them. They'll move on. They've got tough games that are coming up. If they can apply what they did tonight to that with the finishing, then they'll be back to it.
Yeah.